So tonight, I will be talking to you about accomplishing the impossible. But Gus, you might say, that's just a logical fallacy. Talking nonsense. Well, what if I told you that within the military, the odds of making it into the elite forces are so small as to seem virtually impossible? First, about 50% of applicants are turned away through the process of recruit selection. Then there is a further dropout rate of 15 to 20% through basic and further training. Out of the tiny proportion of those who muster up the courage to volunteer for and train themselves to a high enough standard to apply for paratrooper or commando selection, the failure rate is upwards of 70%. Then, lastly, those who volunteer for the Special Forces Selection course all come from these elite backgrounds, virtually all of them. The failure rate is nearly 97%. Why would you even apply? To accomplish the impossible, we must think in possibilities. So what would you be willing to do? Would you be willing to walk down to the recruiting office? Yes. Okay, well, that's the first step done. Would you then be willing to travel up to attend recruit selection? Yes. Okay, that's the next step. And so it goes, thinking in possibilities and taking one step at a time. This is sometimes literal. When you think you can't take another step, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. In my eyes, Equal Experts has accomplished the impossible. In economics, there is a phenomenon known as the Pareto principle or Pareto law, also known as the 80-20 rule. This says that roughly 80% of productivity comes from roughly 20% of the people within that group. In every organization I come across prior to those elite military forces, I found the Pareto principle, sadly, to be true. I thought that I would never again encounter a group of people like this, especially in civilian life. And then I met Equal Experts. You have accomplished the impossible and thought in possibilities. An organization that has defied the odds and collected together a group of some of the brightest and most productive people I've ever had the privilege of meeting and working with. And this I found to be true with every single individual I went on to meet within EE. Tonight, I just want to say thank you all for opening the door into IT for me. I'd like to invite up Thomas and Duncan, wherever he is. Where's Mr. Duncan? As well as Ryan, on behalf of the whole of EE, to accept a small token of my appreciation. Thank you. If you'd like to come up. Thank you all very much. Awesome. Good evening.
Thank you, Gus, for those moving words. Thank you.